what are the signs that tell you that something's not okay? Pay attention to them. They mean something. They are evidence of ways in which we are creating barriers to hold ourselves back from success.
So this goes directly into my second point that came up while you were talking, and that is that I don't know how many adults actually know or remember what it feels like to not be in survival mode. And so when we start to say, pay attention to those things, how do we start to tell people what those things really look like and feel like? Because to them, it's normal from the time that they were a child.
Right. So part of what I do with my coaching work for the self-aware success strategies is to start with sort of behavioral assessment, things that are easy to observe. Don't tell me about your childhood. Tell me what you do now today when this happens. So how are you behaving today with other people? So do you have places in your relationships where you find yourself feeling resentful often? Somebody does something and you resent it. You have that sense of how dare you? Tell me about when you feel how dare you in relationships, because how dare you, your resentment, is a clue that somebody just failed to recognize you for who you think you are. Somebody just missed out on seeing your identity in a way that you thought they should be able to, and you were disappointed. And instead of feeling disappointed, you're resenting them for doing it, even though maybe what you thought they should see in you was something that you actively hide. Okay. So.
Yeah, that's powerful. And so much of what we know is broken relationships. And I talk about this a lot with my relationship with my mom, which has been repaired. But for a long time, it was really rocky. And it was rocky for exactly what you just said. I didn't know what I know now. So I didn't know how to articulate that I was looking for her to see the things in me that I didn't want to acknowledge. And there was never going to be, like, she was never going to be able to love me enough. She was never going to be able to acknowledge me enough. She was never going to be able to care for me enough to fill the hole of what I didn't feel for myself. But because I expected her to, because when parents become parents, they stop being human, right?
Yes.
So when I expected her to, because she's now this robot that carries the title of mom, so why can't she fix me? And why? And I don't even know I'm broken at the time, which I hate that word, and also haven't been able to find a better way to describe it. So I think what you just said is kind of that simple yet not easy way to solve everybody's relationship problems.
Yeah, we have to look at what do we do without judgment. Okay, so I get resentful at so-and-so. Well, that would be really easy to beat myself up about, especially when I get it, that the reason I'm resenting them is because they didn't do something to acknowledge who I am in a realm in which I pretty actively hide who I am. So, it's kind of, once I get that dynamic, it's easy to go into a shame spiral about it and just beat myself up. But that's not the point of doing it. The point of doing it is to learn from what's the pattern. It's an indicator. It's like a map pinpoint that tells you a pattern that you can undo.